It has been 12 weeks on Zepbound, and in this episode, I'm going to give you an update on the good, bad, and ugly of my 3-month journey. Hello, 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 and welcome to Zepbound with Ange. I'm Angela Durant. My friends call me Ange. I'm super excited to be here today to give you an update on 3 months. I can't believe it's been 3 months because it's gone so fast. But it's been great to have you with me every step of the way. And I appreciate all of you Zepbound losers, right? Weight losers, to be here along on the journey. Hello to all of you bold, brave, and brilliant ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who have never been here before, this is your very first episode of Zepbound with Ange. Everybody knows my friends call me Ange. That I want to welcome you here. Tell you a little bit of backstory, a little bit of background. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I am the founder of the Be Brilliant movement, where I help amazing women and a few incredible men get seen, heard, and valued for the brilliance they bring to the world. Which is great that I'm talking about weight loss, right? Because a lot of times the weight will dim your light. The weight will dim your light. But we're not having any of that around here. I have also been someone who has struggled with my weight almost all of my life, right? Since about age 7, I've struggled with obesity. And I've, been up and down. I've gained and lost and gained and lost over many, many years. At my highest weight, I was 331 pounds. I'm only 5'2.5", so a bit vertically challenged, but it was a lot of weight to carry on my frame. I've had 2 bariatric surgeries. In 2009, I had the lap band, and I lost 157 pounds on the lap band, which is pretty unusual when it comes to the lap band. I don't even know if doctors are doing that procedure anymore, but I was good for a number of years. And then I started slowly putting the weight back on. Something tragic happened in my life, and that I lost my mother and in 2016. And then I think I gained like 40 pounds in, a very short period of time, and then just kept gaining. So at that point, I decided that I would go a more drastic step and have the gastric bypass surgery. I had that in 2019, and I lost about 30 pounds with that. I know. Most people lose like 100 pounds with that. That wasn't my story. I didn't lose as much on that as I did even on the lap band, where the doctors didn't even want to give me the lap band. They're like, you are not a candidate. At 331 pounds, you really need gastric bypass. So I did the work, I worked out, I did my best to eat well, and the weight came off, right? There was a lot of restriction, right? Because with the band, you can't eat that much. I don't have as much restriction with gastric bypass as I should. They checked me out, everything. They did the upper GI, everything came out okay. But as feeling wise, I don't feel the restriction that you would think you would have when your stomach is smaller. I don't have that. And it could be because maybe the nerves were damaged because of the lap band. I don't know. But I'm healthy. The lap band is removed. And I am now here with all of you on this journey with Zepbound. I mean, I've pretty much done everything that I could think of, from going to Weight Watchers to doing LA weight loss to doing OptiFast or Optavia, where they send you prepackaged food, which I'm not a good candidate for that. I don't do well with prepackaged food. Like, I need the real food, and it needs to have some flavor and taste good, right? Or else I can't tolerate it, right? I can't stick to something like that for a lifelong, for your life, a lifestyle change. It just doesn't work for me. But I know a lot of people who've lost weight on that. I consider myself a really tough case. I consider myself a really tough case, and you'll hear more as I talk about the medication and the doses and all that good stuff. But we are 3 months in. Yes, we're doing this thing. Yes, I'm so excited. Okay. So if you are here for the first time, just know that this is a warm welcome from me and the community. This is a very kind and compassionate, caring, supportive community. So if you'd like to join us, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And if you like the video, please share it with someone else that you know. And I'm coming across people every day who are on Zepbound, right? I'm like, how would you know, right? How would you know that people are on it? But I'm having conversations with people and they're like, yeah, I started it like a week ago. Yeah, I started on Friday. Yes, I've been on it for 3 months. I lost 50 pounds, right? So I'm hearing lots of these stories. So I know a lot of people are on or people are considering it. So if you're somebody who's considering weight loss or obesity medication, if you're looking at Wegovy by Novo Nordisk, or maybe you're on, you're a type 2 diabetic and you want to lose weight and you're on Ozempic, or you're doing Mounjaro, or you're on Zepbound or Saxenda. I was on Saxenda before too. You have a place here, right? You have a place here. Some of you might say, I just want to check it out. I'm not sure. I'm considering it. I'm afraid of the side effects, which we'll talk about in a minute. But you just want to find out more information, then you are in the right place, my friend. You are in the right place. Okay. All right. So you have a little bit of my background. Please subscribe. Would love to have you be part of the community. And I do like to communicate with you through the comments and all that good stuff too, to find out how your journey is going as well. So I started my Zepbound journey in February. I think my first video was somewhere around February the 19th, 2024. And I weighed in, my starting weight was 296 pounds. And I will tell you that my obesity management doctor, Dr. D, who's amazing, I could see in her face that she was concerned because I was creeping up towards 300 pounds. Like I was almost there. I was on the precipice of 300 pounds, right? At 296. And so she prescribed Wegovy for me back in August of 2023. That was prescribed. My insurance accepted it. They approved it. But the problem was that we couldn't get it. We couldn't get it. It was every place sold out. And if you're dealing with the shortage, every place was sold out, couldn't get it. So my primary care doctor put me on Saxenda, which is also made by Novo Nordisk. But the success rate or the percentage of weight loss with that from the trials was about 5 to 8%, where Wegovy is like 15%, and then Zepbound is like 21%, right? So I was taking it, and we're increasing the dose, but I can't say that I lost a ton of weight on Saxenda. So we decided that even though the insurance wasn't covering it in January, we decided, well, I'll just pay out of pocket. And my doctor prescribed Zepbound, right? And so in February, I actually got it. My insurance denied it. We tried 3 times to get this approved and deny. My insurance said they wanted me to try Wegovy, a Saxenda, and one other medication first. And if those didn't work, then come back and see them, right? I'm like, I'm almost 300 pounds. I need to lose weight like today. So I paid out of pocket. If you go to the Eli Lilly website, they have a card. Hopefully by the time you're looking at this video, they still have the savings card. And that savings card allowed me to get a discount, right? So if I just paid the pharmacy direct for the prescription, it would have been $1,250 where I live. I'm on the East Coast. $1,250. But with the savings card, it took my out of pocket down to $550, right? So I was paying $550. Ouch, right? I'm used to paying $11 for my prescription at the CVS, right? I'm used to paying like $1.60. So $550 is a pretty substantial bill, right? And can be cost prohibitive for a lot of people, right? But I appreciated getting the discount. So I paid out of pocket for 3 times. When I started on the medication, my doctor started me at 5 milligrams. Now I'm going to tell you the scale of all the doses, right? The starting is 2.5, then 5, then 7.5, then 10 milligrams, and then 12.5 milligrams. And at the top of the Zepbound is 15 milligrams. Okay, that's the scale of the doses. I did not start at 2.5. My doctor started me at 5 milligrams. Why? Because started me at 5 milligrams because I had already been on Saxenda. And a year ago, I took Ozempic for a short period of time. I lost about 19 pounds on it. But the Ozempic wasn't strong enough, really. She really wanted to titrate up higher. And that's why she wanted me to eventually go to Wegovy, because Wegovy, you can get a higher dose, right? Okay. So today so I went from 5 milligrams. I jumped from 5 milligrams. I was tolerating that fine, up to 10. I skipped over 7.5. I went to 10 because I was paying out of pocket. And I was like, I think I can tolerate it. Let's go, right? So I went to 10, and I would have stayed at 10. I felt like 10 was working well. 10 was good. But I didn't stay at 10 because I couldn't find it. So I talked to my doctor. They ran all the lab work. They asked me all the questions. And she approved 12.5 because that's what my pharmacy had. So I ended up getting the 12.5, and that's what I'm on now too, right? So I did one round of 12.5, and this is the second round of 12.5, right? That I'll be taking. I just finished up my first one, so I'll be taking that one next or this Thursday. I take my dose every Thursday morning, my injection. For those of you who don't know, it's in a pen. It is a little teeny tiny needle, and you inject it either in your tummy, in the back of your arm with assistance. So my husband gives them to me in the back of my arm, or in your thigh, your upper thigh, right? I've tried it in all different places. I can't really tell if one was stronger than the other. I haven't noticed, but some people say the injection in the back of the arm is like, will take you down, right? Will give you great restriction and is really powerful. That hasn't been my experience. They've all been about the same, so I went back to the belly. Okay. Okay, so you have the doses. So I'm on 12.5 right now. I'm on 12.5. I hope to stay at 12.5. One other thing I want to update you on regarding the shortage, because I know there's a shortage out there, and I don't want to forget to mention this to you. So I got an email from my doctor the other day, and she told me, because I was able to get the 12, they called me and said they got it in, but they said, the pharmacy said, all of the other doses, the lower doses, they couldn't get them. They're out of them. They couldn't get them. They couldn't tell me when they would be in. But the 12.5 they were able to get it for me, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to get it again for me. So my doctor emailed me, and she told me that she wants me to take that 12.5, but instead of taking it every 7 days, she wants me to take it every 10 days. She's having all of her patients stretch out their dose to 10 days. Concerns me a little bit, and I'll tell you why when I get to the good, bad, and ugly. But that's what I'm going to do, because I do what she tells me to do, right? And that has contributed to my success. So she's asking me to stretch it out to 10 weeks. The other thing she told me, and I think I mentioned this in my last video, is if we couldn't get the 12.5, which we were able to get it for this upcoming month, but if we couldn't get it, then she would be looking for the 2.5 or whatever lower dose we could find. She would put me on a lower dose just to keep it in my system and keep me going. Okay? So she said she would rather me have a low dose than no dose at all. Okay, so spreading it out to 10 days instead of 7 days. I'll let you know how that goes. And then also, if we couldn't get it for the next month, then she put me on a lower dose just so that I had it. Okay, let's go back. I want to make sure I keep track of where I am here. Oh, I was going to tell you about the weight loss. Okay, so I started my journey with Zepbound in February 2024, and I weighed in. My starting weight on Zepbound was 296 pounds. This week, I weighed in. Actually, I weighed in this morning. Drum roll, please. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I am currently 262 pounds, 262 pounds, which I'm usually like 262 point something, right? But this time it was like exactly 262. So I was like, yay, that's fantastic. So that puts my weight loss down to 34 pounds. So in 12 weeks, I've lost 34 pounds. I was really going for that 35. Y'all know me, right? It's going for that 35, but 34 pounds, which that's not bad, right? That's not bad. So hopefully I can keep the pace of weight loss. I will show you what I look like. Hang on one second. And somebody said to me with the green dress that I waited in the green dress, and some of you who are new, you won't know what I'm talking about. But if you find a video with a thumbnail that has a green dress on it, that's the video. She said that once a month I should weigh in with that dress on so you guys can see the difference, which I thought that's a fabulous idea. So I think next week will be a month from when I wore the green dress. So I will weigh in on that too and show you what that looks like. Give me a second here. Move my chair. Okay. So I'm going to move back a little bit so that you can see me. This is what I look like. Right. I'm 262 pounds. And this is really helpful for me to be able to document, right? Because I told you guys sometimes I can't really tell the difference in my weight loss, but I can tell in my clothes because this used to fit me pretty snug, and now it's a little looser. It's not fitting me so tight as it was before. So I can start to see it in my clothes, and but I also can start to see it in my face. And many of you told me you can see it in my face. I hope that's helpful. I know for me, I'm very visual. So when people are talking about their weight loss, I'm like, I want to see. So hopefully that is of value to you. Okay, let's see. So I want to know from all of you, how much weight you've lost. So tell me how many weeks or a month. So, say it's 10 weeks and I'm down 10 pounds, or it's 15 weeks, I'm down 30 pounds. I would like to know from you. So please put that in the chat so I can kind of keep track of you guys, know what your weight loss is looking like, and congratulate you. Let me know how you're doing. And there was one person who said she's been on Zepbound. I think she said she's been on Zepbound for 15 weeks or 3 months and hasn't lost any weight. And I don't, if that's you, if you hear this, please let me know, because I'm curious about why that is. It could be the dose. I know I needed a higher dose, but I'm curious to know why you haven't lost anything and what your doctor is saying. So please, because there might be somebody else in the community that's challenged with the same thing. So I'd like to share that with them too. So let me know in the chat. I want to know how much you lost so far and how many weeks or months you're in. So it's like I'm in 6 months and I'm down 50 pounds. Let me know. I want to know. I'd love to celebrate you. Okay, so let's see. So let's jump into the good, bad, and ugly. Let's talk about the good, bad, and ugly. So side effects. For side effects, for those of you who are new, there are many different side effects. There's some black box side effects that could happen that's related to cancer, but the chances of that are very, very low unless you have it in your family. So that's something that's really low. But the more common things are things gastrointestinal things like your tummy, like having constipation or diarrhea. A lot of people suffer from constipation. And to that I say, make sure you're drinking your water. Because I know if I'm not drinking enough water, I'm not eating properly, I can start feeling like, wait a minute, something's not right here, right? And then I go back to eating the way I'm supposed to and definitely drinking the water, and I've been fine. But know that is common. The other thing that's common is nausea. And I would say a lot of people suffer it in the beginning or when they titrate up. So when you increase your dose, you go to a higher dose, maybe that first day or two, you might feel a little nauseous. That's very common too. The other thing is fatigue. And people have said, make sure you get your electrolytes in, make sure you're drinking water, you're doing all the things you're supposed to be doing, and you're eating enough food too, right? That people get, they're tired. They're tired. And I've had that too, where I'm just like, I want to take a nap on the couch and then I'm okay. I take mine first thing in the morning. Some smart people out there, take their dose right before they go to bed, right? So they're sleeping, for 7-8 hours, and then they start their day. So I thought that was really smart. What else? What other side effects? What other side effects that are common side effects? Those are the big ones that you hear about most often. Now there are. So I think it's I forget what it's called, but it's where your intestines you're paralyzed, and you have to stop the medication. That's something else, but I think that is rare as well. But it does happen. So I would just say, if you go to Eli Lilly's website, and look up Zepbound. Just read through what is there if you are afraid of them, of the side effects. And I would say a lot of them are not the really severe ones are not common, right? They're not common. And I pray for all of us that we're all safe, that this medication works well for all of us, and we're not putting ourselves in harm's way. Okay. And again, this is one girl's journey. I'm not a doctor. You always push you to have a conversation with your doctor and make sure you're on the right dose. Make sure you're following what they prescribe to a T. And this is just one girl's experience. So, hopefully I can share my experience with you and help you and also encourage you, because I want you to know that you're not alone on this journey. You never have to be alone on this journey, because we're all here. Okay. All right. So the good, bad. So that's part of like side effects, with myself. I haven't had any nausea. I haven't had to deal with constipation or diarrhea. None of that. I had a very interesting thing happen. I was getting these itchy bumps like everywhere. Like they pop up on my arm. They'd be on the back of my heel. They'd be on the back of my knee, like all over, on my neck, right? These itchy bumps. They look like mosquito bites or like a spider bit you. And they were very itchy. And so initially when it happened, I didn't connect it to the medication. But over time, I was like, wait a minute, I'm taking the medication, I'm getting these itchy bumps. I haven't even gone outside or how is this possible? And then once I started talking about it on YouTube, then other people start saying, hey, I have those itchy bumps too. I didn't even connect the dots. And that is from the medication. So that is the side effect that I've had. But it's tolerable, right? My doctor gave me some cream and it's fine. I'm taking Benadryl and I'm fine. But that is the only side effect that I've really had with the medication. I've been able to tolerate it pretty well. And most of my friends who are on it have been able to tolerate it really well too, with the exception of some nausea when they're starting a new dose. Okay, so I wanted you to know about that because I know a lot of people are interested in the side effects. So that's the good part. So the good part is that I'm feeling really good, have a lot of energy, not having any side effects right now. Knock on wood. I'm happy about that. The other good thing is that my clothes are fitting me better. Yay! That's fantastic. So I'm sure that those of you who are losing, you're probably experiencing the same thing. And the other good news is that I went out for Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day to all of you wonderful mothers out there. And I went for brunch and I didn't overeat. I enjoyed my meal. I ended up bringing some home. I didn't overeat, right? That's different than what it would normally be, because Mother's Day brunch is like, the permission to just eat, go all out, right? Eat whatever you want to eat, right? But this time I didn't overeat. I got my meal. It was great. I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the company, right? I focused on the people that I was with, my family, celebrating me on Mother's Day. And then I took my leftovers home and had them later. Okay. So that was a win for me. And that was due to being on Zepbound. All right. The bad. Okay. So I'm not sure what happened the last 2 weeks. I would say 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure what happened. But I went away. I had a speaking engagement. I did a keynote speech that set the open up an event, right? And I didn't have to fly because I usually gain weight when I fly. I didn't fly. I just drove there. But I ate their food all weekend, right? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I ate their food. We got in, my girlfriend and I went and I got a burger, right? And some fries. I couldn't eat it all in one sitting, but I got a burger. And when I got home, I was not 1, not 2, but 3 pounds up. 3 pounds up. Somebody said that was all the salt you were eating in that food that was retaining the water. I don't know, but I gained 3 pounds. And the last time I was traveling, when I went to Boston, I flew and I gained 6 pounds. 6 pounds. So this time I gained 3 pounds. And then so that was 2 weeks ago. And then over the last week or so, I was able to, lose, lose the weight and get down to my total of 34 pounds. I was trying to get to 35, but I just could not make that yet. But yeah, so that's the bad thing. Like I can gain weight. Like, so some people like say, can you gain weight on this medication? Some people just lose and they can't even gain weight. They're trying to stabilize the loss. I can gain weight. So I have to be very careful, especially when I'm traveling and I don't have as much control over the food that I'm eating. I mean, you always have control, but you know what I mean? Like, people are serving you. So that made it a little more challenging for me with, being on the medication. But the other bad thing is I'm not sure what was going on. I don't know. And that was a shot in the back of the arm. I don't know if all the medication didn't go in. I don't know what happened. But I would say maybe 4 days in, and I know like day 5 and 6 start to wane, but maybe it was like day 3 or 4 days in, I was so hungry. I was really hungry. Like, I was literally, but I was consciously aware of it. But I was literally like, what's up? Because I'm like this at the fridge. Like, what am I going to have? I'm hungry. And I was like, I shouldn't be this hungry on Zepbound. Why am I so hungry? And I don't know if it was because of the food that I ate, like there was high salt, high sugar, stuff like that kicked something in and made me want to eat more. I don't know. Because my food up until before the conference was pretty clean, right? Not perfect, but clean. And I was cooking a lot of it. I don't know, but I was hungry. I almost hopped on here and did a video like, your girl is hungry right now. I need y'all to send me all the support because I'm feeling very hungry. So what I did was I did eat, but I try to pick things like high protein. Let me have stuff that's protein rich to give me satiety, right? Because I was like, I shouldn't be this hungry right now, but I was. So I wanted to tell you that because that was like a bad thing. Maybe that was like ugly. It was ugly. But I got through it. And then when I took my next dose, I was okay. And I'm back down to normal. So I'm not sure. That dose was in the arm. I'm not sure what happened, but I was hungry. Okay. The next thing I want to talk to you about is what I would say is the bad thing. Maybe this is the ugly thing. And that is the shortage, right? The shortage. Right now, I know a lot of you are scrambling to try to get your medication. No, don't panic. Be calm. I don't want you anxious, because that isn't good for your weight loss either. Try to breathe through it, right? And hopefully it won't be too long till you get it. Talk to your doctor to find out if you can take another dose, if the places that, your pharmacy has it. And then if you want to find out, my doctor just does not recommend compounds for me. She just doesn't, right? So, and she sent me a note saying such, right? Because I was like, tell me about compounds. What do you know about compounds? People in my community are asking me. She's like, for you, no compounds, right? So, but I do know someone who knows a lot about compounds, and that's Kristen. So if you haven't seen our episode together, you have to check it out. But she breaks compounds down in the last episode we did. So check that out. You can see it in the last video, or you can check out 100 Pounds Down. That's Kristen's channel. And she has, if you sign up for she'll have a link there. She takes you to all the information about compounds, where to get them, the ones that she would say are safe. She's not a doctor, but what she would recommend or share with you, you can find that on her site. Or you can find out my last episode in the show notes. Okay. So that's with the compounds, but the shortage, I'm like praying for everybody that you get what you need and you don't go too long without it. I remember Rosie O'Donnell talking about Mounjaro. She's taking Mounjaro, and she was saying she went like, 13 days or something like that without it. But she said she was okay. Like, she continued to lose. And I don't know if it stayed in her system longer or she just was eating better because of it. It kind of started to train her to eat better. But it's a real thing, right? It's a real thing trying to get this medication. And it really shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be so hard to get what you need. But that's what it is. And that's what we're dealing with right now. The last thing that I wanted to share with you around this good, bad, and ugly is what my doctor said, my nutritionist said to me around weight loss, around where I should be. Because if we look at the BMI scale, for a woman of my age, I think it says I should be somewhere between 118 pounds to 141. 118 to 141. I wouldn't be mad at it because I'm short, so I wouldn't be mad at it. But 118 pounds, I don't think so, right? So, but she said, I talked to her. I was like, where should I be? What milestones do you want to see me? She said, I want to see you go from where you are now, the 160s, in this 160s. So I'm 162 today. She wants me to, the next milestone would be 240. So she wants to see me at 240. And then she wants to see me under 100, under 200 pounds, right? So then that would be, she said she wants to see me at 190. And then I said, what would be the goal weight for me? Because, BMI is saying 118 to 141. What do you say, right? And she said, I'd like to see you around 170 pounds. I think for your age, your height, for your build, you got those big bones, right? For your build, I want to see you around 170, which I think is actually a really good spot for me because when I lost 157 pounds on the lap band, I was 176 pounds. And all my friends were like, okay, Ange, you lost enough. Like, you don't need to lose any more weight because you got curves, you got boobs, you got booty, you got curves and you look good at this size. So if she says 170, I think that might be a good spot for me, but we'll see. Like, we'll see what happens as I continue on the journey. I'd be curious to know, what you all think about that as far as the weight. Are you going by your BMI or are you going by, what feels good to you at what weight? Or did your doctor give you a set point for where they think you should be, what healthy weight for you? I'd be interested in knowing that. So the other thing she said around weight, around exercise, and I'm meeting with my exercise diet, my physiologist diet person, doctor. I'm meeting with her this week on Wednesday. But my nutritionist said she wants, because I was like, should it be cardio? Should it be strength training? What do you like? I'm hearing different things. What do you suggest? She said, she said, you need both. For you need both. She said, I want you to be doing 150 minutes of exercise every week, 150 minutes. That's 30 minutes a day. I want you to do cardio and I want you to do some weight training. So that's what my doctors are telling me they want me to do. All right. And finally, what I've learned on this journey, what I've learned in 12 weeks, 3 months, fantastic, fast, really, really fast time. That the journey is easier. The first thing that I learned is that the journey is easier when you're not doing it alone. When you're not out here by yourself trying to do this journey, it's so much easier. Right? It's easier when we link arms with like-minded people. People are doing the journey with you. They're saying, okay, Ange, we got this. We got this. There's some people that are, 10 steps ahead of me. There are some people who are just getting started and we're all in this together. And I find strength and encouragement in that, and also accountability, right? You guys are like, we didn't see your video. How you doing? What's going on? Right? And I'm getting on that scale to tell you, right? Good, bad, and ugly when I increase and then when I lose weight. So that is one thing that's made this journey so much easier is having all of you here. Number two is following what my doctor is telling me. And you might say, well, of course you're going to follow what your doctor is telling you, but I'm telling you, I have a very rebellious nature, right? I might just, in the past, I'd be like, well, why I got to do that? Well, why can't I just do this over here? I tried this and that works, right? But now I'm not doing that. If whatever the doctor tells me to do, that's what I'm doing. Right? If they tell me I want you to do intermittent fasting, and I'm doing that, they tell me whatever time I stop eating, if I stop eating at 8 p.m., then I don't start eating until 8 a.m. If I stop eating at 9 p.m., then I don't start eating till 9 a.m. If I stop eating at 10 p.m. and I know that's late, she's like, I don't care if you eat late. Just give your body 12 hours to rest and recover with no food. Okay? So I've added that. That's something that she had me do. So I've been doing that too. And so whatever my doctor tells me to do, that's what I'm doing. Right. And if you trust your doctor, you have a good, kind, compassionate doctor who wants to see you win, then do what they tell you to do. Okay. And third thing I want to share with you that I've learned is you have to be persistent. You have to be persistent when it comes to this insurance. I know there are so many of you out there who are paying out of pocket or who are waiting because it's just too expensive, and you're trying to get the insurance covered. And it should be covered because you need the medication to fight this beast. I call it the beast, right? So what I would say to you is not give up hope. Don't throw in the towel like, oh, it's not going to work for me. Be persistent. It took 3 denials before I got an approval on the insurance. So I just kept going back. I kept going back and saying, but I don't understand. Like, why isn't it approved? FDA approves it for obesity management. My doctor's prescribed it. It's cheaper over here. It's cheaper than Wegovy. You approved Wegovy. I can't get Wegovy. Help me understand why, I want you to try these other 3 things. Well, the other 3 things are not working as well, and Wegovy, you can't get it, right? So those were the conversations back and forth that I was having with my insurance company and their partnership with Caremark, CVS Caremark. And then finally, I got an approval. So I would say to you, I don't know what insurance carrier you have or how that's all set up. But I would just say, if you get an initial denial, then appeal it, right? And your doctors know how to write that appeal. They'll talk about all the things that you tried and the impact of the weight on your health, so that you can get approved. All true stuff. They'll lie. They'll tell all true stuff. But I just want to tell you not to give up. And I'm thinking the more common these medications become, the more people are out there pushing, the better it's going to be for everybody, and to have this insurance cover it. Because some people are saying, oh, my insurance company does not cover weight loss. No, they're not covering weight loss medication, period. Right? Or it's not on the formulary. It was not on my formulary, but it's now approved. And I think with time, it could be approved for you too. So just be persistent and don't give up on that. All right. The next thing that I want to say, and this is really the last thing, and that's around your mindset, right? Staying positive. Because being stressed out is not helpful. Like, being stressed out will make a person like me eat. Right? Being stressed out won't make me say, let's go to the gym, right? So really manage your mindset, really manage how you're feeling, manage your state, right? I think the more positive you can be, come here, because we're going to root you on, right? We're going to cheer for you. We're going to help lift your spirits here, because that's what we do here, right? On Zepbound with Ange, that's what we do. And I would say, like, we'll tell you some of the facts, but we don't go as deep with the facts. We talk more about the human part of you. And so I would say link arms with us so that we can encourage you. If you're having a rough go of it, let me know in the comments. Like, let's talk about it. Let's connect about it, because it's really important that up here, you're good, because this is the game changer, right? This is the game changer. This is the thing that's going to keep you in the game instead of taking you out the game. Right? So I think that that's really, really important. Listen to music if that's what helps you. I always say every woman here and brilliant man too should have a theme song. You should have a theme song, right? Mine, I have 2. One, she's a brick house, right? She's a brick house, right? Is one of them. And the other one that I listen to all the time is that she's a bad man pajama. Right? I love that song, and it always makes me smile and lift my spirit. So find something for you, find something that works for you. But I'm telling you, if you're able to shift your state to a more positive one, it helps the weight loss. It helps with your weight loss. All right. I think that is just about it. I do want to remind everybody that we have a retreat coming. Our retreat is July 18th through the 20th. There are 15 total spots available, so we don't have a lot of space, but we would love to see you there. And the reason that we're doing the retreat is because we want to bring you into the room, right? We want to come offline and be in person with all of you and have a really upscale, luxurious experience. So my team and I have planned an amazing retreat for you. So you'll be with us for 3 days, in the same room with us for 3 days. And there's all different things, like a private chef. We've got somebody coming who's going to do a whole session on mindfulness. We have somebody my nutritionist is coming. She is coming. She's going to talk about you can bring all your questions. We're going to talk about all things nutrition, and make sure that we're as, and I said I need it specifically tailored to our community. And she's like, I got you. So we have all these amazing things and some surprises planned just for you. So if you like these kinds of events, you like being treated like a king or a queen when you come. My background's in hospitality, so know that we pay attention to every detail. And it could be a bit pricey for some of you, but we would love to see you in the room. And then I also would like, so that's July 18th through the 20th. I also want to know, for those of you who maybe it's a little bit out of your budget, I want to know what we could do for you. Like what kind of experience we could create for you. Do you want to do something online, like in a Zoom room, or would you like to also be in person too, but maybe not as an extravagant event, but something more moderately priced? Let me know. I'm here to support you. So just let me know what you are interested in, and we'll create it for you. Okay. All right. So I hope that this video has added value to it. For those of you who haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. We'd love for you to join us on this journey. I hope that you've enjoyed this. If you think that it will be of value to other people you know, please share it, because that is one way that YouTube will find additional people and bring them in. They'll share the message. And I think it's one of positivity and hope, and one of community here, and kindness and compassion always. We always have a compassionate approach. So if that's you, please join us. And if you have a friend, bring them along too. We would love to have them here. And then also, I welcome any questions that you have or comments that you have relating to this weight loss journey with Zepbound. And you could be on Wegovy or Saxenda. It doesn't matter. But any questions that you have, please go ahead and shoot them our way. We do our best to answer every question. It's getting a little more and more challenging, but we're still doing it. So please, or I'm still doing it. The response is from me personally. So I love to hear from you, love to hear your thoughts and your words of encouragement too, because like you, I'm on this journey and I need that too. So for now, I want you to go out there. I want you to be bold, because it takes boldness to take this step, to be leaders, to be at the forefront of this groundbreaking, game-changing medication called Zepbound or Ozempic or Wegovy or Mounjaro, right? It takes boldness to do that. I want you to be brave, because it takes courage to really show up and take a stand for yourself and really advocate for your own health, right? Your own health and wellness, and say, this is the year that I decided I'm going to put myself first, right? And it takes courage to not care what the naysayers say. Because I know there's some of them out there, and the hate could be real, right? And it might even get worse when you start getting all cute, right? You start getting cuter and cuter, right? But it's not really about them. It's not about anybody else. It's just about you, right? It's about you and being the best that you can possibly be, the healthiest you can possibly be, the fittest you can possibly be, and the cutest you can possibly be. Okay. All right. It's about you. And it takes courage to do that, to take a stand for yourself. And I know for many of you, it doesn't take courage to stand up for somebody else, but it takes courage to stand up for yourself, right? To put yourself first. All right. And I want you to be brilliant. I want you to show up and shine. I will tell you, I know personally, the weight has been a dimmer of my light. The weight has been a dimmer. Do I still show up? Yeah. People who don't know me, they think I'm at a 10, right? But I know that I can do better. I know that sometimes I don't raise my hand because I might have to stand up, right? And because of how I look. I know that I didn't always play full out 100%, right? I had a coach one time. We were in a group, and I would say something, oh, I'm working on such and such. And all of the group was like, that's great. That's fantastic. Congratulations. And we get off the call, and my coach would say, you ain't fooling nobody. You playing small. They might not know, right? Your colleagues might not know, but I know as your coach that you're not showing up as full as you can. You're not being as brilliant as you should be as brilliant, right? And so for you, I'm calling all y'all out to be bold, to be brave, and to be brilliant, because you are. And I don't want the weight to dim any of your light, because you are brilliant. And let me just tell you something. When you are courageous and you stand up, you take a stand, and you're fine with showing up and shining. You're fine with that. When you do that, you give so many other people permission to do the same. You give so many other people permission to do the same. When you share your story and you're vulnerable, and I'm sharing all my stuff. My girlfriend's like, you share all your business. You telling them about bariatric surgery, all that stuff. But you give other people the permission to do it too, right? But you're the leader. You're going first, right? So go out there, be bold, be brave, and be brilliant, because you are. Thank you so much for joining. 12 weeks in. I will see you next time. Take care, and bye for now.